everyone, and welcome to episode 60 of the Help Me to Parent Parenting My Pocket live Q&A. Hope you've all been keeping well. As always, the dashboard keeps popping up lots of little pop-ups which you don't need when you're going live, so there you go, get rid of those. I hope everybody's had a lovely week and you've been taking care of yourselves and those around you. It's an interesting world that we're living in at the moment, but all we can do sometimes is just kind of take care of our own and do the best that we can in any given situation. It has been a good and busy week for Help Me to Parent. As I said last week, we've got our Parenting After Separation and Divorce course coming up this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. It's always when I say I look forward to it, I look forward to running the course. The content is challenging sometimes for people because they're going through a separation or divorce, and that's very emotional for them. But what I generally find is that once they've left the course, they tend to have more of a sense of positivity towards moving into the future because they've got a bit of a structure to build a new life with their children, and at the same time different ways to manage the challenges that they have with their ex-partner. So people go back to challenging situations, but at least they can go back with a renewed confidence and with practical things that they can actually do. So that's why I enjoy running it. No, I wish there was no need for it, but there is. So we will provide it, and we're doing a bit more work on the logo synthesis book for teenagers that myself and Miriam Nordman are working on. So we're working away on that, and then the NFT project is taking up tons and tons of time as well. So it's been good and busy. We have 2 questions today. So I was just eating some nuts before I started, and there was one stuck in my throat. So we have 2 questions today, and let's crack straight in. They're good ones. So question 1, I got a call from my son's school yesterday telling me that he keeps quoting rap songs at other pupils in the schoolyard. He's 10 years old. They said that what he's saying isn't appropriate and he needs to stop. He told them that we don't mind him. He told them that we don't mind him listening to his favorite music. When he came home, I asked him about it, and he said that the other students actually ask him to rap, and they love listening to him. Me and my husband have no problem at all with him listening to this music that he loves, and want him to know he can express himself. And I feel like a bit of a hypocrite if I tell him to stop rapping in school. I don't want him getting in trouble in school, but how do I address this without stifling him? So for anyone out there who has ever listened to any rap music, there can be lots of swear words. There can be lots of themes that maybe some parents or some schools or some families or some children may not have been exposed to before or may not understand, and even those of us who listen to it sometimes may not get the full context if we are younger. So I love seeing parents willing to encourage their children's love of whatever it is, be it music, be it art, be it literature, sports, whatever. I love seeing parents encourage that. And I think there's a few things. What your son is probably doing is just basically singing the songs that he loves. And I don't know what he listens to, but if the themes are more adult themes, he may not get it fully. Or he might know that there's something kind of cheeky about it that he probably shouldn't be singing, but he's obviously getting a really good response because he's the one who's rapping in the middle of the schoolyard and probably saying things that other kids are going, oh, I can't believe you said that. So you don't need to either be fully kind of behind him expressing himself or completely shutting him down. You can find a balance because in reality, as he grows, you can still encourage the things that he loves and encourage the music that he loves. And if he wants to become a rapper, encourage him to do that. But at the same time, he does have to live in society where sometimes the themes in the rap music may not be as socially acceptable. And it's one of the biggest challenges for so many parents out there because or not even for parents, but for people in general, is that, we love something, but we have to live in a society that we can function and that will accept us and not cast us out. And not that you're going to be cast out, but you know, if he goes into the work world as when he's older, he's probably not going to be reciting rap lyrics at his boss. Like, he probably won't do it because there will be consequences. And here we have a school who've actually brought it to your attention, so it needs to be addressed. Okay, so again, school is part of the structure of the world that we live in, and they will have rules, and we can agree with some rules or disagree with some rules, but for the most part they will turn around and say, well, this is the school rules. If you're not happy with it, you can take your child out, and you can. But I would say to you that there is a chance for you to start to talk to him about societal norms and how to live in the world and still be able to express yourself at the same time. And I would look to try and get him to understand that, look, you are happy for him to listen to this music because he loves it, but that sometimes there are themes that are not appropriate for the schoolyard because other kids may not understand. It's like talking about our good friend at Christmas, Santa Claus. As they get older, they understand more the situation. But you wouldn't allow them to go in, or you wouldn't be happy necessarily with them going into the schoolyard and shouting from the rooftops to younger kids who maybe don't have that same understanding of the situation. And this is pretty much the same. And you can explain it to them in that respect, where it's like, look, you're okay to listen to this stuff at home, but in school, there are other kids that maybe don't understand or don't know or haven't been exposed to this type of music and some of the themes, and their parents won't be happy. So the school won't be happy, and the school have rules around that, and we have to learn how to abide by the rules of school while we're there, because he has no choice. He has to go to school unless you're planning to homeschool him. So sit down and have that conversation with them. Explain to the teachers and whether it was the principal or the teacher that got in touch with you, explain to them that, okay, look, we're okay with our son listening to this type of music. That's the decision we make at home. But we've had a conversation with them about the appropriateness of doing it in school. So we're letting you know that if it occurs, you can come and talk to us. And obviously you can correct him as well. But he's a very creative child, and maybe we can look for different ways that he can express his creativity. And so maybe if he were to come up with his own raps that were more appropriate themes, would that be okay? Can he showcase his talent in, on the school, I don't know, if there's a school talent show or something, can he get the opportunity to do that there? So there's always opportunities to look at that and explain to him that this is how he expresses his creativity, and then encourage him to sit down and do his own raps. And you can kind of go, yeah, that one sounds like it could be okay for school. And while he may not get the same attention from his schoolmates because he's not saying the things that they are all, they want him to say so they have a good giggle at it, it may help him to continue to express himself, but also manage school life as well. Right. That's a tough one, isn't it? Okay, question number 2. My 17-year-old daughter wants to get a tattoo. She's always adored them and has always spoken about how she couldn't wait to be old enough to get one. I don't mind her getting one, as the design she has picked out is beautiful, and she doesn't want it stuck on the side of her neck, which I would hate. And that's fair enough. My husband is totally against it. He keeps saying that she'll regret it when she's older and that it'll look terrible when she's 60. That old line. I feel like I'm stuck in the middle. She needs us to sign a waiver to allow her to get tattooed, and my husband refuses to do it. And has said to me that if I sign it behind his back, he'll be so mad. I don't know what to do. Have you any suggestions? Tattoos are such a funny one when it comes to children and figuring out when is the appropriate time or it's okay for them to get a tattoo. And when I got this question in, I was kind of curious then. I was like, I wonder what the actual legal age is in Ireland to get a tattoo. And technically, there is no legal age to get a tattoo in Ireland. But if you are under 16 without parental permission, um, it can be construed as what was it? I could get this wrong, but a sexual assault because skin to skin touching. Now, I might have that slightly wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what the thing was that I read had said, because it's a minor and you are not to modify a child without the parents' written consent or whatever. So there's something around that. So I was surprised because I thought that there would be a legal thing of no, you can't do it under 18. So technically, you could sign the waiver for your child. But then what's going to happen at home? There's going to be the arguments, there's going to be disagreements between you and your husband, and I'm sure you don't want that either. And you've got a daughter who really, really wants a tattoo, you like the design, but maybe it's about sitting down with her. So she's 17 at the moment, so I'm assuming that she's within a year's time, she's going to be 18. Well, maybe you can sit down with her and say, look, I understand you really, really want to get a tattoo. I understand that you're 17. I think it's lovely. I think it is the one that you've picked out would be fantastic. But right now, your dad is not okay with it. And I need to support him right now because it's our relationship. We have to back each other up. So I'm going to support him with this. But you're not that far away from turning 18 that you can then go and get it done for yourself without any parental permission. In fact, you can get your whole face tattooed if you want. Please don't go and get your face tattooed. But you're explaining to her, look, I can't sign this waiver right now because me and your dad, we work together and we try and support each other as best as possible. I will maybe talk to him, and that's where you can kind of say to her, look, I'll spend a bit of time trying to convince him and trying to get him on side, but you're going to need to be patient as well, because it's not just going to happen overnight. He's not just going to turn around and say, yeah, okay, I agree, just because you've just said it. So I might need a bit of time to work on him, which means I need you to not be talking about how frustrated you are, or talking about, giving out about the fact that we haven't signed it yet, or pushing me or pushing him to sign it. If you can let it lie, I can work on him and see if I can bring him round to him being okay with me signing it, and I will do that then whenever that occurs. But if it doesn't, in less than a year, you're going to be able to make that decision for yourself. And I think that's probably the best way to go about it for you, for your husband, and for your daughter. So sit down and then think about what is it about it that your husband doesn't like. So before you go down and chat to him about it, think about what is it that he's not sure of. What is it that, does he just not like tattoos? Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. Well, then the chances are you're probably not going to convince him. But then look at, well, what is it about that your daughter loves? And try and marry the two. So if he just doesn't like tattoos, you can say, look, you are fully entitled to not like tattoos. You're fully entitled to do whatever you want. But she's going to turn 18 and she's probably going to get one anyway. And wouldn't we rather have a peaceful household where we're getting along and she's not walking around flaunting it in front of you every time she sees you, but that she appreciates your acceptance, that it's okay for her to get it done because she is going to get it done. And he may not be okay with it. Like, he just might not. And then you may not need to just let it lie. And she may need to just let it lie until she does turn 18, and then she can make the decision for herself. So, explain to her the situation. Have a think about what it is that he's concerned about. Have a think about why she really wants it, and then try and bring up the conversation, not straight away, but say to your daughter, give me some time, and this is what I need you to do and not do, because that's important as well, because she could keep coming at you going, have you spoken to him? Have you not convinced him yet? Blah, 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 blah. And then you get frustrated, and you can get to a point where it's like, do you know what? I'm not actually going to have a conversation with them at all because you're pissing me off so much. So stop. And then look at having the conversation with him and addressing his concerns, and then go from there. And if it doesn't work out, when she's 18, she can go and get it done. It's less than a year. And as you know, now, a year to a 17-year-old might as well be 10 years. But as you know, a year is a very fast period of time. It'll go by in a jiffy, and she will have her tattoo. Hope that's helpful. All right, folks, have a lovely week, and I will chat to you very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.